Okay guys, today a video that I couldn't wait to make for you because especially during these times when there is the virus going on and all these crazy things all over the world, I think it's gonna be very useful. And I've been preaching this way of learning Italian since 2013, and that's how I actually learned the languages that I now can speak. So let's start seeing together 3 steps to improving your Italian alone at home. The step number 1 is to find Italian input. And this is the key thing that many people still don't understand, especially American students that find me and then they try to apply what I'm teaching for a little bit and they find themselves lost because they are like, the common question is after a while that they start to listen to Italian input, they tell me, hey Alberto, like how is this gonna help me to learn Italian? Like I started listening to some Italian, I have the translation under the Italian and I listen to it, but how is this gonna help me to learn Italian? And this is actually crazy that most people all over the world still do not understand that this is the basic concept to learn any language. So if you are gonna learn Italian, the most important thing for your learning will be to find Italian content that is recorded with some audios and maybe some explanations, also recorded in Italian and with the transcript in Italian and translations in English, because listening to this kind of materials is actually what's gonna take you to speak like I'm speaking right now, English. That's what I've done to learn English. So the first step that you need to do is to understand that to learn Italian you will need Italian input and not the boring and always the lifeless input that they give you in schools or on textbooks, etc. You do need to hear some very real Italian, real conversations in Italian, real texts in Italian, real videos in Italian. And just at the beginning you will need some time to basically get through the phase where you understand nothing in Italian. And for that beginner phase, we actually have one course called Italian for Beginners that allows you to get through those basics, really the core vocabulary in Italian, to then move on with the more real content, okay? And I will leave in the description the link to this course. And also, of course, I'm producing every month content here on the channel where you can find 7 Italian greetings, 10 common words, and there we try to give you the words plus sentences so that you start to build this core vocabulary, okay? The whole goal of those videos is to help you create the core vocabulary to then move on with the real Italian language. So what you need to do is to find this content, start listening to it many times, 3, 5, 10, 15 times, and then you look for other content, another content to keep it interesting, right? And you keep the listening going. Even if you don't understand everything, at the beginning you will look at the Italian plus the translation, but you do need to find this Italian content that you start to listen from day 1. That's the most important. That's what babies do to learn their mother tongue, and what you've done as well. And of course, what I just mentioned, you can do it wherever you are. Doesn't matter if you're at home, doesn't matter if you're in your car, in your house, cooking, whatever. You just need to put the audios where you can listen to them with headphones or something, or even just clicking play, and that's it. Okay, that's why it's very useful. You don't need to go to a classroom or to an intensive course in Italy. That's not needed to learn the Italian language. It's not needed, okay? The second step is actually write and review. What do I mean by that? Once you have found this Italian content that you can listen to, that has a translation and support materials to allow you to really start this absorption process of the language, and of course you have to trust the process. Once you have that, you can start using some notebooks and start writing down the new words that you find many times. You can write the word with a sentence. Always remember that you will need to write the word in context. If not, your brain will not remember it. So I see many people having lists of vocabulary that they try to memorize, but it's actually useless. Your brain cannot memorize lists of vocabulary without a real context. It's 50 times harder. and you're gonna forget it 50 times more easily. So do use notebooks if you like it, with a pen, while you go through these materials, for example, so the ones I provide, and you have a gift always in the description that you can download to start having this kind of materials. You listen to it, and if you feel the need, you can write with your pen the sentence you like, that you see many times on your notebook, and you review it once a week to really solidify the knowledge that you are getting through listening. Remember that repetition is the key, okay? The third step is to work on your weaknesses. Where do you feel weak in the language, in Italian? Recognize it, and once you recognize it, you can start developing a plan to work on it. So some people that find me are like, hey, I studied Italian in the past, but I don't remember any vocabulary, so I can speak. Some others are like, I try to listen to some Italian audios, but I understand zero. Some are like, I understand everything I hear on the audios, but I cannot speak. So depending on what is your main issue right now, or even if you're starting to learn a language today or this month or this year, you have to understand the concept basically of how the language learning process works. So once you understand that, you just apply to your particular problem. For example, if you don't understand Italian, what you will need to do is, once you have the comprehensible Italian input, which means you have text in Italian, text in English, you start to play the audio that is linked to that text, and while you play the audio, you follow the text in Italian and English. First you're gonna read it in English, so you get the meaning, and then you will try to go to the Italian, and slowly your brain will connect the meaning of the English to the Italian and the audio, and you will not rely on the English anymore with time, because you will just understand directly the Italian text. And that's the best moment, where you just have to plow through the repetition of the audios and keep listening, and you will have to choose the audios that you like the most, with the voices that you like the most. That's why in our programs, etc., we always give different voices, different topics, because it's important that you basically choose the topics you enjoy the most, and you focus on the audios related to the topic, and also on the voice that you like the most, because you're gonna need to listen to it a lot to make this process of naturally learning Italian happen. So working on your weaknesses just means that if you have troubles writing, you are gonna need to increase your reading in Italian. If you have trouble speaking, you're gonna need to increase your listening in the Italian language. If you have troubles understanding, you're gonna have to increase your time listening, but also following the text with Italian English. And you know, depending on which is the area that you struggle the most, you will need to focus and understand how you need to apply the natural approach better, okay? And if you have any doubts regarding this, of course, you can leave them in the comments. We are here to help. We understand that most people all over the world still do not understand the natural approach, and that's why most people all over the world cannot speak languages properly, because they just rely on the traditional methods, memorization of vocabulary lists, memorization of grammar rules, study of grammar, or softwares and apps that they just make you learn words with pictures, and that's not how you're gonna achieve the level in Italian that is gonna allow you to speak like I'm speaking English right now, okay? My goal is to help you get to a point where you speak Italian better than I speak English, okay? And I went through what you have to go through. I really struggled for 10 years in school, learning the language how they told me. I did grammar, I did vocabulary lists, I was doing softwares and Duolingo and everything. And I'm not saying it was helping zero, but it was helping 10% compared to the 100% missing, which was listen to real English, find texts that you can use as a support to the audio, find interesting topics, and go on listening and listening and listening, and fall into the process. Love the process. Don't think, oh, it's been 5 days, where am I at right now? Like, why can't I speak? It's not gonna happen in a month. Remember, no baby in the entire world speaks in 1 month, okay? So I'm here to help you with that. If you enjoy these type of videos where I explain you these kind of things, leave a like please, and leave a comment. You can subscribe to the channel for monthly videos related to the topics of learning Italian, how to better learn the language more easily, and topics related also to the culture. So I wish you a great week. I'll see you in the next video, and thank you for watching.